right, everybody, welcome to the RSP Film Room. I'm Matt Waldman. You know that. Who I got next to me, I've been waiting to get on for the past few years now because we've just kind of missed schedules off and on when we've tried to do this. But it's Laurie Fitzpatrick with DraftWire. Laurie, welcome back.
Yeah, man, I'm excited. Ever since DJ Shark, I didn't want to mess up the. I did so well with DJ that I didn't want to mess up again. So I figured, we'll wait a couple years till we
I
jump back
think
on.
that's what it was. That or I had to get over the fact that you schooled me on DJ Chark because I think you liked him a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
So now that my ego has like subsided a little bit, I could have you on, and we could go from there. But no, seriously, we've been trying to get Lori back on. And I know you, if you've tuned into the RSP cast, you know that Mark and I have brought up Lori numerous times, and it's nice to have her back on. And so we're going to watch another wide receiver, and that's Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. What is it about Moore that had you interested in wanting to break down his tape a little bit in greater detail today?
So I knew that he wasn't a top guy. But I know a lot of people have already broken down the top guys, and a lot of teams are going to get those early or those late first round, those early second round, maybe early third round pick that they're really going to know what is this guy about. So I wanted to go in depth with Elijah, because I know some teams are going to be excited to get him and they're not going to know much because we really don't see much of him, out there. So I just kind of wanted to do a guy that wasn't, so prevalent to be the top pick. But they're gonna get somebody who is really good. Like his route running. I love his route running and coming out of Ole Miss. I mean, there's not a ton of guys coming out of Ole Miss. What was it, like Brett Favre back in the day, right?
Right. I mean, like we haven't.
Not too many guys.
No, not for sure. I mean, we had. I think. Well, I think Brett went to Southern Miss, but even so, we've
Oh,
had.
Southern Miss, sorry.
But that's all right. But that's all right.
Hopefully
But
that doesn't discredit me, guys. Come on.
no, I think we'll be okay. I mean, we'll just say Hakeem Butler 3 or 4 times, and everything will be okay. So there we go.
There you go.
But yeah, let's get started. We're gonna roll some tape, talk about some of these guys here, and we've got. Let's see, what do we have started off here? I might have to refresh this because I uploaded this a little bit on the late side. There we go, and there we go. So let's start off here.
Yeah, I sent you a couple clips that where he wasn't necessarily getting the ball, but he really performs well. Like sometimes he does some blocking, and he's small, so I kind of wanted to send every aspect of his game to you. So not every clip he's getting a pass or anything.
No, I love it, and I kind of did the same thing later. So this is going to be a fun theme that we'll get to explore with more. So we're kind of on the same page. We see him, what, up on the top side of the screen here? Is that where he is here?
Yeah, I really like his physicality, and even the Alabama corner is like, dude, like your hands is still on me. Like he looks like he's almost choking them at some point. So I like his ego for a little guy.
Yeah, no, that's nice, and absolutely,
Physicality.
yeah, good location and just good effort. Absolutely.
Yeah. We'll see number 10, this quarterback. He takes it. He keeps it a lot. A lot. I don't even know who that guy is, but
Yeah, Corral, I think it is. I think that's Corral, if I know. They switch quarterbacks in the middle of the year, so maybe this isn't the same guy.
it might be the same play.
Yeah, it looks like it is. All right, move forward.
He's coming out of the slot.
Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah, like it was kind of like a double move, but like not with hard cuts.
Yeah, it's kind
Like
of
he
a
kind of climbs the ladder a little bit, like what they say.
yeah. It's kind of a stair step kind of thing where it's like you've got the. It looks like he sells the corner route here. It looks like it's going to run the sail, but then he flattens out right there.
Yeah, and first he looks over his shoulder to the right, and then he has to switch and go to his left and then go to the ball. Like, that is some amazing body control and ball skills, like, to make this catch. And he has to dive, too.
Yeah. I mean, the tracking is insane. And that's so hard. I mean, there's so many receivers we even seen come into the NFL who can't track the ball that well because if they have to look over that shoulder and then switch to the outside like that, they don't. They end up losing the ball. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
nice
so
look.
I think he just did a fantastic job there.
Yeah, that's a fantastic look. And then,
Woo!
yeah,
Nice
beautiful,
balls.
right? Beautiful extension right there. Does he now?
Yeah, that's an NFL catch.
Oh, without a doubt.
And what I like in the beginning when he's coming out of his release, he kind of like steps out a little bit, like to the outside, which
Yeah,
kind of like makes the guy step out, and then he kind of adjusts in to make him second guess. Like you see how this leverage, he's starting with the guy on the outside, and since he knows he has to go to the outside, he's like, okay, let me go to the outside. So it makes him think that I'm trying to get room to go inside. So then the defender goes inside, and then he goes back out again. And so like he juked this guy like really well.
yeah. That's fantastic. That's a great point. It's like great storytelling, because and that's the thing. One
The
of the things I
shade. Look at that shade.
yeah, yeah, outside. And he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna, most cornerbacks probably anticipate they're gonna give me one move, and then the real move is after that. So he gives him one move, then he thinks that's the real move, and then comes back down here, and then sells him an extra move here to like sell the vertical, and look and just God, yeah, that's such a great route.
Yeah, like he almost stacked him too at the top of the route there.
Yeah,
Like there a little bit, like he's trying to kind of get some room,
yeah.
and then that's that last bit of separation. Just
And he does a nice job of trying to embrace the fall here a little bit. This is, and the idea of where here he is extending, and he lands on the ball some, but he does try to tuck that sideline and shoulder in a little bit so he doesn't
yeah,
completely
right
land
there.
completely on it and roll through.
And he tucked his shoulder so he could kind of lay in bounds too.
Yeah.
Like yeah, it was nice.
Yeah, good play. Man, that's
Ooh.
a
And
lot
he
of
hands
rich
it up.
stuff there.
I got it, guys. Yeah, let me see. Ooh,
Yeah, that
beautiful.
checks a lot of boxes. I mean, when you can tell a story in your first 5 yards and play off that shade, give a little bit of a stick to that inside, work back out, and then still tell another story and do it by turning inside. Like I just can't get over that. Being able to look inside and then go back to the outside and relocate the ball.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah. All right, so I think we've worn that play out, Laurie. But there was a lot
Definitely.
there.
Yeah, so he's in the tights on the inside.
Okay.
I love his pad level and his cuts. Ooh,
Yeah. Yeah, let's slow that down.
you see how he dipped his shoulder when he at his
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, that's a good. And then also look at that outside foot and watch that step and just how
Yeah,
how
he really
tight
digs
he
it in
gets.
there.
Yeah.
That stride right before that cut, right there.
Yeah. I mean that really sells the inside and getting that wide and your hips, the mobility of the hips right there, and then to be able to get that turn. And I wish we could see the foot a little bit more. I bet that foot is that inside or that, excuse me, that sideline foot that he's about to put down ends up planting where the toe actually points back towards the quarterback or pretty close. It's to the boundary, but still that's not bad because then he pivots again one more time and then he gets that toe back.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's nice work. Really tight.
yeah. That turn was ridiculously tight. Like that's why I like his pad level there. It was really low at the top of his route.
Yeah. Well, right
Right there.
there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that really sells it. You see
Mm-hmm.
Mike Thomas do that a lot when he was at the top of his routes at Ohio State. He was very good at that. All right, so what do we got
Top of
here?
the screen. He kind of misses that block there. number 5 is his defender.
Yeah. He was probably a little impatient to begin, you know? Like it looked to me like he's taking long strides right here
Mm-hmm.
and right there. And instead of maybe being a little bit more patient and going a little bit, taking shorter steps to see what the defender's going to do first and let that defender close on him a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take him where he wants to go in. Instead, he kind of let him know early that he was going to come block him. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
Those strides, you're right. He took his strides a little too wide. The defender knew right away.
He's like, I'm going to dictate this. And the defender's like, well, fine.
He's on his heels. Yeah.
All right. So middle trips looks like. Oh, that's nice.
I like his hand movements. You know, he kind of oversells, like, in a way that he's going deep.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Is he in the middle there?
Or is he inside? Or were you looking to think? I think it's him in the middle. Yeah, I think that's him.
Okay.
We'll see in a minute here. Yeah.
Because I think the guy in the middle is number 9. I think that's the back that motioned out. So yeah, I think he is the guy that makes this catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. See that long stride before the
Yeah.
turn, the curl in?
Right there. And he's just automatic as a pass catcher. This is a consistent theme I think we're going to see with this show is that he catches pretty much everything. The only balls I didn't see him catch, and I'll see, be interesting to see what you have here as well. But I have 2 plays I saw where he dropped some passes, and they were the same type, but I didn't see them anywhere else where he made catches of those in those types of situations as well. But sometimes underhand when he's like about to take some contact, where he's like working with his back down the field. Some of those are a little harder for him to track, but this is a guy that I feel like you could target in tight space pretty much anywhere. All right, cool. So let's see what we got going on here.
They teach you when you're running routes that, wherever you turn your head, your body's going to follow. So I really like the way he snaps his head around, and he does that a lot on his fakes too. Like, you see how quick, like, he moves?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's a good point. And I like the point that you make about that your body follows where your head goes. That's so true, as as a former running back. I mean, how your head is and whether you're looking up or looking down when you take contact, basically what happens at that point.
And where that's also taught, which is not something that is like, I don't know, like not in a contact sport, but in a I used to snowboard, and in surfing, they say that, wherever your head moves, your neck and your torso, it all follows. So when you want to make a turn in snowboarding, all you have to do is turn your head and your feet follow.
Wow.
And I realized that transitions a lot in a lot of other sports too.
That's cool. That's a great point. And that makes total sense, because we talk about, because when we talk about running backs, I've always thought, when I've always learned that was that, you want to look up when you go through contact, so that you can extend your back and your hips forward. And if you have your head down, I mean, besides the safety risk, you just go straight to the ground.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to open everything up.
Yeah. Oh, see, I appreciate the fact that you have this type of thing going on in here. So tell us why you have this particular play with more on the right side here.
So when like we're scouting players, right, we're going over potential. And we're showing you like what he can do, and what he's able to do. And so for me, it was just the fact that he can he can do this play. Like, he can be included into reverses because he's fast.
Yeah.
If you have anything else, that would be great. But that's the reason why I put it in.
That's cool. What what I think this sets up what I'm gonna have later on, which will show that, especially in the red zone, I think Elijah Moore is going to be a red zone weapon. Like maybe not necessarily a touchdown machine, but a guy who's going to create a lot of problems in the red zone because of plays like this, and the
Hmm.
potential to stretch horizontally. And I'll show later on the effect that has on a defense, whether he
Yeah,
gets the ball or not. But I appreciate
exactly.
that you introduced this like right off the bat.
um.
Oh, I think he's slot right here.
Yeah, I just like the way that he ran this route. Yeah, that
There
play
it
just
is.
accidentally got in there,
No
but
worries.
he was wide open. Like, and the way that he ran that route, once again, he was shaded to the side that he didn't want to be shaded on. And what did he do? He got the defender to move to the inside again, so he could get to the outside.
And this is something Devonta Smith has to learn how to do, if you ask me. Like, I think that, especially as an outside receiver, I
Yeah.
think that he's a fine player, but I think that this type of nuance of getting the defender, kind of having a plan to get the defender sold so that he can work where he wants to go, is important. Now, obviously, when you have a two-way go and you have room inside, it's probably a little easier, but it's still the same concept, which is tell the story in the first 5 yards and get the defender to bite on what you want him to bite on.
I think it's funny how he's literally chasing him like a little kid. He has to like he's chasing him, and Moore is just he's wide open there. Like, because if you think about it, if he wasn't able to get around him, then at the top of his route, he would have been stuck. And the number one thing as a wide receiver is you want to show your quarterback that you're open.
Yeah,
And so he's able to get off of any of the blocking and literally run around him.
yeah,
I just thought that was really good the way he was able to move his body through his stem and then at the top of his route.
yeah. And he moves his upper body so well too. You can kind of see, with the head, like you said, with the head fakes, with kind of the way he leans, the way he really drives downfield, and then kind of bends around there. That's nice. Yeah. All right.
Was that the same play?
That was the same play. That's all right. It was worth looking at again.
Yeah, like I didn't realize the release in the beginning. Like the way he comes off of that release, he's just like so fast. Like he just boom, boom, boom. It's like
Yeah.
really technical.
Look at it one more time. And let's look at the stance real quick because that's an underrated part I think that a lot of people don't think about is, I mean, you've got that nice 80-20 balance there with the front foot. You've got his hands up.
He doesn't take the back step.
Yeah.
He comes off clean, like straight. He did a little double clutch there,
A little bit.
but
But that's something they can clean up. And most receivers I find have at this level have difficulty coming off clean, like
mhm.
consistently. And then I think there's some routes. I've got to look into this a little bit more to be honest. That there's some routes that I wonder if that's, maybe you can tell me, is I would, it seems like there's some routes that maybe it's intended that they kind of have a little bit of a back step with it before they come off, but I don't know which ones those are. I just see some that it seemed like that I could see the logic behind it, but I need to ask somebody, a couple of people. If you don't know, I know some people I might ask who might be able
I
to tell
can.
me.
I'm like I would say that I guess like 80% sure that you should never have a back step ever. You should really
Right.
all the power should come off of your back foot and you should explode out. And taking that second step like back and then going it's pulling all your momentum, and I don't think you're going to come out of your release as strong. But there are times where there's a little bit like you need that time, because if it's like a pick route or something like that where you need to get underneath, then maybe that could come into play. But usually I don't think there should ever be like a backstep.
Yeah,
Like
that
ever.
that makes sense to me because like the routes where I've seen it would be working from the inside, and maybe you're working under traffic or making a very sharp change of direction directly off the line, where maybe
Yeah.
where there's something like that where you're like really diving inside or outside. But that I've just been kind of noticing that more this year as I've paid greater attention to stances, and it's something that I've been meaning to ask.
You'll see the score kind of get away from Ole Miss a little bit as we go. Every clip, it's getting like 10 points more and more.
Yeah, but this is nice too. I mean, again, you get the really nice attack with the break, the long stride, the long front step. Obviously he's got the weight dropped well. And he's just not shy about being able to catch the ball with a defender at his back. I mean, this type of play you just see over and over again on his tape.
Mm-hmm. See, now it's 38.
All right, so he's right. Yeah. So what do we see with this one? Rolls off pretty nice off that front foot. Yeah, once again.
I wish he kind of came to the ball a little bit here. But what down is it? I didn't see.
Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look. Second and 3.
Okay, 2nd and 3. He could have maybe came to the ball a little bit, but because if you look at where the first down is.
Yeah, you could see that he probably should have done that.
But then this angle, I don't know if it was too inside. Oh, that was a duck.
Yeah. Looks like it got tipped.
I think it got hit. Yeah. Okay, it makes sense then.
Yeah, 33 got it. All right. So now we got 2nd and 5. Let's see what we have here with him on the right slot. Or no, that's him over. Is that him over here?
No, it's the right. He's the right slot. But I included this because he can diagnose pre-snap, because he knows that number 5 is going to kind of sink to the middle. So right now he's playing the safety. When he runs, he's like he kind of runs straight, or not. But like you see how then he goes straight. So then the safety stays because he doesn't want it to go to the outside. So he kind of makes the safety pause for a second, and then he goes straight across her. And I think it just gives him a little bit more space. I don't know.
Nice catch. No, I like that because that makes total sense. And it's a nice show of, again, pre-snap, post-snap, what you have to do as a receiver sometimes. And that's one of the great strengths of his game is really what you just pointed out. I mean, that ability to kind of read the zone and manipulate it enough to find, get the most space that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we have here with him again. So
I'm not sure if this one's much.
Yeah. I like the little, again, I like the fact that he'll reduce the shoulder there. I think that's him over on the right. Am I missing him? I can't tell if that's 8.
Yeah, I think that's him.
Okay, good. My wife's at the eye doctor today. I got to do that in the next couple of weeks here.
Honestly, though, I'm if it wasn't for Mark, this wouldn't even be in 720. So once again, I think that's why I included this play.
Okay.
Do you see what the quarterback does, or that might be the next play? Look at him.
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous. Wow.
And Elijah just stands there like, wait, what am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
And he hurdles him. You don't see quarterbacks hurdle defenders very often.
No. There was an era of some quarterbacks who would do this, and then they'd get flipped enough that they knew better. But apparently, this guy missed the
The memo.
I missed the memo. The last time I remember seeing this was a quarterback out of Iowa trying to do this number, and yeah, didn't work out well for him. Funny.
Like he's a little like resistant to like a ton of contact, which I guess is good. But there he actually he was the reason why the back got tackled.
Yeah. Let's take a look at where we're at here. It's tough. I mean, I think with guys blocking at this stage, either they're too tentative or too aggressive, and they can't find that balance consistently of where to be. And he is someone that if he catches contact, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, but this was really good play by the defender here. He like kept that separation, with his arms, and he kind of dictated where he wanted to go. So I think it was just a really good play by the by the defender here.
Yeah, that's a good point. And he sees the leverage of where Moore is and is like, I'm just going to keep his chest open to that outside because he's kind of opens the gate right there. And then the defender's like, okay, let me take advantage of that. And he just kind of pushes, one arms him and sheds off. Nice. All right, so what do we have here? Oh, the double move, huh?
Yeah, a little stop and go. They're down by about 40 points at this point. But the next couple clips, he actually does it like back to back. He gets them really good on the next one. But this one, like, it wasn't too bad. Like, he almost made like a full stop.
You want me to go back? Or do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, you can keep going.
Okay.
It wasn't anything special.
Okay.
He actually got him there.
Yeah. Let's go back a little bit further so we can get it. He does a very good job always of just attacking downhill. That's really nice. And that's a nice sudden step. Nice quick 2 there. Turns back to the quarterback.
Nice, yeah, he sells shift. Everything.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. I mean, that he gets low, two quick steps, turns his hips back, turns his eyes back to the quarterback. Yeah, that doesn't sell it. Nothing will.
Exactly. You have to bite on that. Man.
Yeah, that or the guy's a psychic, and then at that point we're gonna have to like start grading for psychic behavior, and I don't think we're ready to go there yet.
Does he have the playbook? What's going on here?
Right. Again, the use of that head again to turn in. Nice little head fake.
The ball should have been thrown to the outside here.
Oh, yeah.
But
too far downfield.
I mean, just the route in general was really good. Like, yeah, that head fake you're mentioning it.
Yeah, but I hear what you're saying because the only thing you could think is maybe with this defender playing off the way he is, this is one of those routes that either is it going to be an out or are they going to push it further downfield on the sail. And it's one of those where it's like maybe the quarterback already let it go. So he was obviously worried about this at this point. But at the same time, when he's making the decision, to your point,
yeah,
right here, he's probably like, okay.
Look at the shade.
Yeah. He's looking at that and decides, look, I can, you could probably have let it go and it'd be more of a flatter break.
I wonder if, oh, wait, was that to the outside? I can't even tell now at this point. Yeah. I need 1080.
I think this was a little bit more further downfield instead of to the outside. He threw this a little more vertically than he did to the outside. I think if he threw it more to the outside here, like it wouldn't have been, it was a couple yards overthrown for sure. Let's see if we can see a little bit better here.
He just couldn't really get off that guy there.
Nah.
Then we go to Auburn.
All right, so what do we have here?
He just rounded this out, but it would have been a catch. I mean, if he would have thrown it to him.
Yeah. I mean, I like that he gets the depth. He works back. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's a speed break, but yeah, that line step could be a little tighter. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have the for those listening out there, you kind of have your break step, your drive step, and then this line step, and that line step
Yeah,
could
he
be a
kind of
little
took it out.
flatter. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it throws that a little wide, a little too wide. I think it was kind of a catchable ball, but
Yeah. And
maybe.
do you
Go ahead.
think maybe it's because his break is not quite as flat as it could have been that maybe he doesn't get within range?
Maybe it could have been. What kind of throw? Like maybe it was a little both of their faults, the quarterback and
Yeah.
he's throwing it like he's like running full sprint, like there's a guy on him. Dude, you're
Yeah.
wide open. Just stop and throw it. Like, look at that.
Yeah, that's like a shortstop right there.
Yeah, yeah. He looks like he's shortstop throwing to like, first base. Relax.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I think it is a combo of both because I mean again, that's nice. That step right there was a little wide and then if he's
Hmm.
a one step further away and this ball's not thrown as crazily as it was, it's there.
Yeah, because I want to see like his body control on the sideline. Like, can you make the catch and have a foot in? Like, why didn't you? Is it because you didn't want to do that? Oh,
Yeah.
this is just showing some physicality. I think
Okay. Where is he? Let's see.
in the tight.
Okay.
He's diagnosing, trying to figure out, okay, which guy is coming out like he has to block the first guy he sees. So he's like, all right, I'm not going to pick up that second level linebacker because the offensive one of his guards I think got it, or the tight end comes out and gets him. So he gets the next guy. So he's maybe trying to figure out which dude that may be. At least puts his hands on someone though.
Yeah, for sure. Good. All right. Well, we'll switch off here. We'll take a look at some of mine. We'll look at, and I know we've got a couple more of yours as well to look through. So start off here. Let's see, what do I have?
Mm,
Okay, so this I believe is the. Let me see if this is the one that I'm
yeah,
looking at. I like the fact that you've got your triangle of defenders here, and he does a nice job of being able to influence them with knowing that he might have this outside defender that he has to contend with too. So he dives inside well,
mm-hmm.
flattens out, challenges the vertical, and that gives the receiver outside enough room to run off too. So they're helping each other out in that sense with running a disciplined route, and then just does a nice job of settling into that zone. And that's
Yeah.
all I wanted to show there.
Yeah, he has some like low pads at the top of his break. He can make that cut inside that plant foot. Um, the high knees, the choppy. Once you're about to make that cut inside, like he breaks down well.
Yeah,
Makes that turn really quickly. It's pretty smooth.
yeah,
Then he waits to get the ball, but doesn't get it. Ooh, what is this? A motion snap? Oh, I like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So he motions outside in, and let's see, motions outside in, dives inside, and then I like the use of his hands there to
Hmm.
kind of work under that and rip upward, and then
And he
this.
kind of he went inside a little bit before he made his cut, his break.
Yep, dives inside. So he's selling that to both these defenders, gets that outside defender there, and then the nice job of turning back, and then the contested catch right here.
Hmm.
Takes the hit, gets both feet in. We'll see. Look at it from the other angle here.
Nice.
Yeah. I just feel like this guy is fairly automatic when it comes to getting the ball, catching the ball. I don't see many drops in his, from the samples of games I've watched. I think I've watched 12 of his games and tracked them, and he had very few drops. This is just another example of really a couple things. One is, again, understanding where the coverage is in terms of its location, playing deeper against the safety. And he does a good job coming off here, but settling quickly, and then kind of cheating inside, making that catch, and then the transition. Just immediately getting downhill. He doesn't square up the defender all that much. He just transitions to get downhill as fast as possible, able to pull through reaches. And then I love the pad level here against the safety.
Yeah. Lower man wins, right?
Yeah. And it's just, he's not super powerful for his size, but he knows how to run. Like, you can tell this guy's played a little running back or understands how to finish at least when it comes to, playing the game. Oh, yeah. And then just smart open field running and open field, with routes here. I mean, working against this defender inside, he gives what's kind of a little bit of a, what would you kind of call this? I mean, he swims over the top here with the arm over, but he kind of swats right here. It's like a throw by, but not necessarily, that close in. So it's kind of like a throw by with the outside arm, the swim
like
with the inside.
A deep whip.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something maybe, because it does kind of look like he runs diagonal and then goes back out.
For sure. So you get that attack inside, the nice sudden stop, the outside arm, swatting the hand, swimming over it. Nice tracking. And then he feels that defender getting that chest out to the boundary. And I just love how he takes the back of the defender. He knows in the open field, all right, that linebacker's giving me his back, or it's a safety. I think it's a safety. And then dips back in and gets more yards.
Mm-hmm. He has a 30-inch arms, which isn't too bad for his size. He's only like, 5'9.5".
That's good. All right. So, and then this is part of that introduction of, listen, once you get inside to 30 with him, putting him on the wing, putting him in the backfield, you can get a lot of nice matchups that way. And just seeing him be in a situation where you can see him run the bullet or run the follow route, when they stretch the field with a receiver, and then he can follow behind, and then you get that wide open look that creates issues.
I was looking at the top of the...
Oh, you're looking at the top of the screen? He's from the backfield.
In the backfield. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm sorry.
This was 2020?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they use him from the backfield a lot. And one of the things I really like about him is that you get that, you get that follow concept, or you get him running the bullet behind, a receiver who's clearing out. And then now you've got confusion with the defense.
Right up the seam route.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Catching it in stride, even though it's underthrown.
Yeah.
Or looks a little low. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and this is a lot. Look, they did this with Tyreek Hill. For his first year, used him out of the backfield. They'd run motion usually with one receiver coming across, or maybe they would use Hill working across, and then he would work up the seam like this. They do a lot of variations of this type of concept, and you could see how a team could do that with Moore because he has the speed to be able to be a mismatch against linebackers and safeties who get stuck with him in this type of a look.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's keep it moving. Here he is in the slot on the right side at the bottom. And what do we have here with him?
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Just the fact that he doesn't mind that contact. He can kind of lean into a defender and give kind of the lean in right there and then work back out.
Because that immediate separation, like, you're not going to beat his reaction time.
Right.
You're not.
When you can make first contact, that's what happens. And then, just the tough catch once again. See if we show. Yeah, I figured we showed
Oh,
the
this
end
is gonna
zone
be a
view.
good. This is gonna be a good angle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
looks.
like the way he kind of curls his body when he's coming to the ground, like to secure the catch.
Yeah,
A lot of guys will jump up high and bring it in with their chest, but him, it looks like he grabs it with his hands and then pulls it in to secure it. Like, and it's just something you like to see.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that ability, when you can secure the ball with your hands first, you just reduce that. That's something we talked about with Chark. Is that like I remember the concern I had with him was that he chest caught a lot of balls, but he seemed to be able to do it in these types of situations very well. And then you'd see moments on his film that we watched where he would make catches like this.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, it was like, is he doing it when he wants? What's going on here?
Right. Well, he's become quite the player. Another little double move there.
Ooh, dang, his high knees. Love it.
Yeah. Let's see what we get. And then a little bit of a, nice little stick inside there. And then just way past. I mean, the safety has no shot. Look at it one more time.
I wonder if he ran track in high school.
Right.
Because the way he pumps his arms.
Yeah, he's very disciplined about doing that. And then you see, I believe this is a double up. Yeah, he's very good at the double up, which is that 2-step movement with the same foot, where it's like 1-2 with the same foot, and that's a double up, and that's a great technique.
Ooh, double up.
That
I'll call
gets
it the stink
people.
leg. No,
There you go. That works. That works. But he does give that very well.
Because I'll see that out of like a release sometimes, but you don't see it much like at the break at the top of the route,
Yeah. And that's what's fun to see about these guys. And I like watching this when you get off coverage. Can they do it at the top of the stem and set that up? So he does that really well. Rondale Moore does that pretty well too. He uses the double up pretty well. And some of the best receivers I've seen in this draft will use that double up on a consistent basis. All right, so do we have him outside here? Yeah. Just nice work in the window here.
I like that. They kind of have like when they curl it, it's like in two motions. Go boom, but then boom. Like they take like a two. It's like you're running straight as you're bending it. It's like you make like cuts instead of it being like one clean cut to the left to the inside. It's like you round it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think he does it well.
Because he's got to get a little depth from that defender coming underneath who's dropping. You can kind of see that he's a little bit of anticipation of that. And it's just a nice play. I mean, making that belt line catch underhand. Let's see how he uses his hands here, because I wonder if he extends them on this particular play. It's going to be hard to see, but it looks like he extends them out a little bit. So
a little bit, yeah.
Which is good, because, I mean, when you take that hit, yeah, that's nice. You can see his hands out there, the gloves out.
Yeah, like this and like this,
Yeah.
They teach you pinkies and thumbs. Looks like he makes a pretty good catch there.
Yeah. Nothing bouncing off his body.
He literally curls his body around the ball when he catches it and goes to the ground.
Yeah, that's such a great note of that. Look at that. And right there. It's like
inside of his rib cage. Like, you ain't getting that, man. I wonder if he wears a rib guard.
Yeah.
Probably not.
That's fascinating. That's a good point about him. I hadn't noticed that, is that in what you've been pointing out, from with these types of catches, is that he really does turtle up well, like you said. Oh, I like the catch radius here.
One-handed?
Yeah. It's a nice catch radius to take and you're going to take a hit. And to
Yeah.
me, that's, this may be like, well, it's not much of a play,
Mm-hmm.
but this is like, imagine him in the red zone and
Exactly.
the catch radius he has, high or low, the fact that he's going to protect the ball the way Laurie has shown in repeated clips, and he can play against tight man. You can see him do those lean ins against, when he's facing one on one coverage. And I just think that if he gets with a good quarterback, he's going to be kind of like Jarvis Landry in the sense that you could use him in the red zone and get a lot out of him. But Jarvis Landry was speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he runs a 4.35,
Yeah,
which I mean, everybody runs a 4.3 in this draft, right?
right. But still, you can see evidence of that. Safeties don't really have a plan against him to be able to win, and you can see the willingness and the work in the middle of the field here. Again, here's the triangle of defenders. Does a good job of kind of bending back underneath the shallower defender and then curling back downfield so that he can transition as he makes the catch and avoid that defender at the left hash.
Oh, that was nice. Snag and go.
Yeah,
Doesn't lose, doesn't, misstep, nothing. He catches it in stride
yeah,
in front of four defenders in between all of them.
yeah. And he just knows how to finish. We're going to see him finish once
Oh,
again.
yeah, he's like,
Uh,
yeah, boy.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I didn't get a chance to show that one. That's too bad. But yeah, he does finish well. He consistently does that. This is a guy like I get the Rondale Moore love and certainly see where his upside can be. But if I'm looking for a player who I just feel like every down, every situation that I'm gonna reasonably put him in, he's gonna be capable of making a play. This is the guy I want. So and this was against. I want to show off that speed a little bit because this was against a corner, and of course the corner has to diagnose a little bit, so he's maybe a little slower on the draw, and there's a little bit of a two-way option here because they're playing inside, but still, he gets the back there.
One thing I wish he doesn't stack
No, you're
enough
right.
that I would like to see, because he had an opportunity there, and imagine, like, if the quarterback even throws his way and he just stacks, it doesn't matter if he gets tripped up, because then that's a pass interference.
That's yeah,
And there are a lot of times he can slow down his corner if he just gets in front of him. Just get in front of the guy.
yeah.
Instead of staying to the middle. I mean, I don't know where the ball went there, but
But I hear you. I agree, and I think that you can see the ball was going outside. I think the quarterback was expecting him to bend it back to the outside because the ball arrives at the hash. Now it could have just been a bad throw, but I'm with you, and it's something that I do notice with him is that when you hear 4.35 or 4.38 or whatever it was, and I watch him, it's like, yeah, he beats safeties, but corners, like he gets that separation, but it's not as clean. And you're right,
yeah,
like I don't think he knew where this was going. I think this was a
yeah,
miscommunication because he looks initially back to the inside, and then the ball's back outside.
yeah, and it looked like he looked a little late. Like, he looks and the ball's already out, so he has no idea where the ball is right now. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, that may have a bit of an impact, and that's a good evaluation point looking at this when you're watching at home and looking at this type of stuff. As anybody who's just watching this, is that when you're trying to determine speed from a rep like this, these are some of the considerations you have to look at. Is like how the coverage the defender's playing, and what he has to consider and go through, and whether that puts him at a disadvantage and whether the receiver knows what route it's supposed to be. And this was
Yeah.
one where that may have slowed him down. These things slow you down mentally enough that it slows you down physically.
Like, you can run, a 4.6 or a 4.3. Like, if you run a 4.3 but you don't know how to stack a defender, I would rather have the guy that runs a lot slower but is always open, because he knows how to how to get in front of a guy during his stem, and he has that separation, because foot speed is only so much. Unfortunately, it's not track, so I don't care if you're 4.3 if you can't get in front of a guy.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. And that's why, every aspect of route running is so important. If you can be smooth and fluid with your route running, the slower guy is going to be the faster guy if if the speedy one can't run those types of routes. All right, so what do we have with him here? Oh, I just like the fact that he works back to the quarterback pretty well here, and
Is he flat or is he on the top? The top.
he's in
Okay,
the
yeah,
yeah,
he
he's
does
right
have that.
here. So he does a really nice job here. I just think he's very fluid of okay, he gets into the open space, sees it's not going to work, so he slides up closer, which I like. And then realizes that's not going to work either, so let's work back to open space. And his quarterback's with him all the
Wow.
way.
Yeah. And usually on the scramble drill, like the guys on the short route will go deep, and the deep guys will come short. But he knew that he was getting pressure, and the quarterback he didn't have any time, so he made sure he can see him, even though
Yeah.
he's only 5'9", he could still see him.
Yeah. And this is one of the things that I love about his game is that he's so immediate about it. He never fully gets still.
Yeah.
It's just all very fluid. It's like he's thinking one step ahead at each moment of where he is. And to me, those types of guys I want. I want guys who just they can process that fast. And then here he is on the wing, and you just see. I mean, again, one way that they can use him. You basically
Mm-hmm.
get a free little running play with a back
Mm-hmm.
with 4.3 speed.
I wish he would have juked him though, but
Yeah,
a little instep or something. But
I agree. He just tried to outrun him and totally
mm,
underestimated it.
yeah, the defender took a good angle there.
Yeah, but you're right.
Everybody has time to learn, and if he's able to do that, he would probably be like the number 3 pick. But oh dang, that's him.
Yeah. But you're
He
right.
said he said, Laurie, shut up, I got you. Wait, give me a second.
That or he needed a chance to learn. He was like, you
Yeah.
see, he'd be the number 3 pick if he didn't need to have to. Oh yeah, this one. Let me learn from that. But
Hmm.
yeah,
He does that one cut, boom.
yeah, and he finishes
Wow.
well. Yeah, and this is why I'm so like for me, my comp with him is two ranges of players in terms of like if you could meld them together, it would be Danny Woodhead and Jarvis Landry with a little more speed. It's not because he's as good of a runner as Woodhead ever was, but he's functional. And, this is nice. The fact that he reads that 5 coming out there, the leverage here,
Hmm.
and like you said, that one cut. And then the finish here, because he leans that pad in.
Hmm. That's a nice play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that cut? Like, he uses everything, his whole body to make that cut. The second one.
Okay. Not this
Whoa.
one, but right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop. Yeah. Ooh, number 24, he lost his shoes there. He's on ice skates.
And I think we have him again. Okay, here we go on a bit of a counter.
Oh, the blocking?
Yeah.
Or,
He's the runner.
he's the runner.
See if we look at it from this angle. I think it's a
Hmm.
better angle.
Just that little counter, yeah.
Yeah. And I just like that he will press deep enough within a step of that penetration. He didn't widen too quickly.
Hmm.
And that really sets up that inside block from Yaboa, the tight end. And here we go again in the backfield to the left. And again, I just, the ability to break down here, get it 2 quick steps, and transition downhill.
Wow, that change of direction was so fast.
Yeah. I mean, this is definitely, I turned a loss into a game.
That breakdown, did you see how many steps he took before he stopped?
Yeah.
His little feet. can
1, 2.
move. Boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
And
And the backside defender who got up and made the effort had no chance even.
mm-hmm.
All right. Do we have him in? I think, yeah, here we go. Once again,
Backfield.
running. Nice little stutter, just kind of
Mm-hmm.
slow it down before he goes back further out. Just nice nuance with that. I mean, you can just tell he's run the ball before, that he has a feel for running from the backfield. And I think in the red zone, that's going to be valuable for a team, knowing that they can do that. Because here's what happens. You have them starting off here. Alabama looks like they're, I don't think this is any kind of mush or any kind of wasp thing that they're doing here. I think they just got confused and they're probably hurrying up. I didn't get to see the context. But here's more on the wing. And you watch how many players go to Moore. You've got 3 players who go to Moore here.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaves the back to get a nice quick hitter with a line of
Wow.
defenders. And gets a nice gain. And then it happens again on the next play. Like you'll see, all of them go outside there. And then the next play, when they're actually set, now they're all set. Moore's here again. And they run the play again, and the guy scores, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
He gets a lot of attention. It's a weapon right there.
Yeah, I mean, you get this backside defender here at the hash who crosses over. You've got the 2 front side guys in the box. You have the edge defender here. And to me, that's where I feel like, as a team, if a team can establish Moore as the threat that he is, tight window creases in the, as a receiver in the slot or outside, working to the middle, working as an H-back, or working as a, stretch option like this horizontal stretch. And you get these defenders all flowing over to the outside, and that gives your running back a one-on-one, even though Alabama did a great job of stopping this 4th and 1. It still poses a threat. And there he is taking that stretch. He does a nice job of weaving through people against Florida, no less. And he has that, like you talked about, the ability to break down quickly, but he can also kind of bend around and curl around defenders at a nice rate of speed.
Yeah, and arm tackles are not enough for him.
No.
Even though he's small, they think they can bring him down, with just, let me just grab him. He's only, $180 soaking wet, but I swear you're not going to bring this guy down. He's too elusive.
Yeah. And there it is again. The break delivers that one-on-one, because you're going to see you got the edge defender here. You got I think this is the linebacker. You've got the safety or defensive back following across. You still have this corner who has to pay attention to that, contain.
Mm-hmm.
And that leaves basically a 1-on-2 situation here. And this defender was influenced by 8.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really a 1-on-1. And
yeah, you paused him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can see 13 right here. 13 has to honor that, and he's late to the party there.
Yep.
All right, so got a couple more we can look at here from your clips. We've got here with fit. So let's take a look at what. Let me turn down the sound there.
I'm not sure what. Yeah. I just liked his physicality at the top of his. Is that him in the slot?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. I just kind of like his physicality there, where he puts his hand on the defender, and that's something that we saw already. But it's just something good to see.
Sure.
This is four out.
Yeah.
I like his quick movements. I guess I played this twice. I'm not sure.
That's all right. Yeah, let's see what we got here with this. Looks like him in the run game there.
He was blocking. And he did a decent or wait, no. I mean, he got in front of him enough, and the defender kind of missed him. But I like how he kind of ran inside, so he made the defender go inside when he knew the play was going outside. So,
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that little slide in, and then
hmm
you can, even then, if he can get a little bit quicker to it, he can get that inside shoulder and then push him out of the way. He
yeah,
was in
yeah.
it. The positioning was nice. That was a nice setup there.
I think he uses like shading really well, even if it's not in his favor. I think he's quick enough, like at his release, to kind of do any juke, and he'll get that leverage and that shading that he really wants. So it's just going to take a little bit of coaching, I guess, in order to be a better like run blocker. Because all he has to do is stand in front of the guy, and then he can mirror him. But he doesn't seem to do that yet. And it's probably because he's not relied on to do it yet. He didn't really need to. But I know in the NFL, he'll definitely have the coaches to kind of make him a better run blocker.
For sure. So, where would you like to see him go? What are in terms of like what would how you'd like to see him used? What do you think his upside could be? Who are some players that you think that he reminds you of in any way, or combinations of things like that?
Yeah, no, I like to. I didn't know that he ran out of the backfield as much as he did, which that's like a huge weapon. He could be even like a Sproles type of guy where he's catching it a lot, but he's used as that weapon in the backfield and on the outside because he's even lining up on the outside like in trips sometimes, and he can come out from the slot. He can motion out to the slot. I think he's gonna just be a mismatch nightmare. Maybe like early second round. I mean, even in the late second round, it would be a steal. I think he'll just be a really good offensive weapon. We don't like to use the OW anymore. The Jaguars used offensive weapon, but the NFL shut that down real quick. But I think he could definitely be that type of guy. Just a really good addition. And then with coaching, he can be, an all around player.
For sure. It's funny. I think of when I see him, another combination of players that kind of remind me. When you mentioned Darren Sproles, I immediately thought of New Orleans, and I thought, wow, if Drew Brees were still like healthy enough to play and young enough, where his arm wasn't, in the shape it was last year, imagine him in New Orleans. He'd be like a combination of like Lance Moore and Darren Sproles in terms of the way he could be used,
Yeah.
and that would be fantastic. But yeah, I mean, there are a number of teams that would benefit from someone like that. I mean, I could see, we could, anybody that wants to me, I just think, again, it's that whole Jarvis Landry Woodhead kind of combination,
Yeah.
Sproles, whatever, where,
I like that the best. Landry and Woodhead. I like that the best. That's
yeah,
that's a pretty good combo for him.
yeah, and then he can stretch the field better than both those guys. So I don't know. I'm fascinated to see because I think this guy could turn out to be like an 1,100, 1,200 yard type of weapon for a team in terms of total yards and give you 6 to 8 touchdowns in a season and be consistent at that for a few years. And if you can get a few years of that out of a player in this day and age, that's fantastic value for a pick.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's going to be utilized a lot in crossers or like the wheel routes because if you give it to him in stride, he might take it to the house. Especially if you have some pretty good blockers on your outside, he'll be able to kind of either bend around the edge for that wheel, and you could tell that he can make the fake. So as soon as he goes to the outside, he'll turn his hips, look at the quarterback, and then as soon as that defender breaks in, and then he's gone, and that would be a perfect wheel route because anybody's going to bite on that. You have to because of how well he can use his body in
Yeah,
space.
that's a great point. This has been fun. This has been a lot of fun to do. Um, you know, Lori, tell people where they can follow you and they can find your work.
So on Twitter, Laurie Fitzpatrick, right down below, I got my Twitter at. I was smart enough to put my Twitter at this time. Last time I just put my full name and it was like, but yeah, on Twitter, I'm releasing videos all the time. The Draft Wire with USA Today. I'm hopefully going to be on the Touchdown Wire, but a lot of draft stuff right now. And also I'm on YouTube a little bit. My Ponytails Talking Pigskins podcast has kind of transitioned more into videos, so definitely subscribe to me on there too. But mostly on Twitter, kind of posting videos in the Draft Wire.
Well, you won't regret it following Laurie. I can tell you that for sure. She does fantastic work. She's played the game. She understands the game well, as you can see. And I'm sure that at this rate, at her hit rate with DJ Chark, I'm sure we'll probably have another good player here as well, so that when we reconvene again, probably will be sooner than that. So we won't know
Yes.
how Elijah has done at that point, but we'll watch some more. We'll be watching more with Laurie soon. So definitely follow her. And listen, the RSP is available. $21.95, Matt Waldman, RSP.com. I will be writing the post draft starting probably day 2, day 3, and it'll be available no later than a week after day 3 of the NFL draft. That comes in with that package. And if you're interested in fantasy projections for dynasty leagues and rankings for dynasty players, well, based on demand, I'm doing that too this year. So that's available for $24.95. And that's a completely separate package. And if you're an RSP reader and you're worried that I'm going to give like a lot of stuff that I give with the RSP, they're going to be completely separate. I'm just giving the answers to the test for the rankings. All the detail and all the stuff with the RSP, that's all separate. So, and then for those of you who said I need to charge more, well, there you go. You can buy both. How about that? So thanks again for watching, and we will see you again soon.